is the culmination of 7 years of engaging with people who are practicing how to do social justice. And let me give you a little bit of context. Back in Charlottesville, when we had all kinds of racial stuff going on and people were violently responded to, people reached out to me as one of those Rolodex experts to say, oh my gosh, we have a race problem in the US. What should we do about it? And what always stuns me when I get a question like that, it somehow puts me in a position to believe that I somehow have this secret potion someplace that I can just sprinkle and all those isms will go away, particularly, and I don't actually have it, in case you were wondering too.
It would have been really nice
I know,
if
and
you
it
did.
would be really,
Yeah.
really lucrative.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, those divisions are actually quite productive for people who build into separating people. You know, sexism, racism,
Right.
homophobia, those things sell and they market well.
Yes,
it's
they
when
do.
people decide they are not going to be divided that those things can go away. But people would ask me, well, what do we do about racism? What do we do about this? What do we do about that? And I actually don't have an answer.
Right.
If I had an answer, I would have solved it. But the other part of this was I can't give you an answer to something that I didn't create. So as I was writing, which is what I do when I'm trying to sort of work through these moments of great tragedy and trauma, I wrote an op-ed piece that said, I'm not okay. And if you're watching what's happening in the world, then I'm wondering, are you okay? So I
Yeah.
wrote this, and then lots of people were interested in it. And I just said, you know, we talk about being divided. There's lots of violence. Our country has been built on violence
Yeah.
and division. So this is not new. So let's look at the
Right.
history to see how we can somehow stop this rather than trying to erase the history. That sounds really ironic now, given where we are in 2025 and all the
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
So this book, I thought, well, people would ask me after a talk, they'd ask me in an interview, and I say, well, I don't have an answer, but you know what I can do? Let me look around and get other people to speak on this so that people who aren't necessarily doing what I'm doing can also have what they're doing out there. So when people
Okay.
ask me, I'll say, okay, here are a few ways that you can involve yourself and also connect with other communities doing this work. So the book is not trying to define justice for anybody,
Interesting. Okay.
because I don't know what justice is, because I don't know that our world has experienced justice. It can be justice for some folks, but what is justice? If George Floyd is murdered, what is justice? Justice would be not having him murdered. So we can certainly have consequences, but I don't know that we can have justice as a realized thing. It's certainly accountability.
Yeah.
But justice in and of itself is an ideal. So this is about looking not so much at what is justice, but rather addressing injustices that we can see. When somebody has been mistreated, that we can see. If somebody has done harm, that we can see. And what are people doing to address those things that they see, that they experience, versus focusing on what's way out there that we may never realize. So the
Yeah.
book is 31 people coming
Okay.
together from various perspectives,
Okay.
and they're not all scholars.
Okay.
That was very intentional because I want this to be a conversation with lots of folks. So they're poets, they're dancers, there's an architect, they're high school teachers, they're actors. There are lots of people who are offering their commentary on how to practice social justice. There are people who talk about trying to do justice work and having it not work.
Yeah.
So it's not all success stories.